sure this works. Hello? Can you guys say something? Oh, you guys aren't. Okay. Okay, hold on. I got it. Oh, okay. How about now? Say something, guys.
Hey.
Okay, I think this is working.
Oh, I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, you guys gotta turn your audio off. Maybe use a headphone or something.
Who, me?
I don't have audio. I kind of heard that though. Did you hear it?
Wait, what are you guys hearing?
Well, that's only if you
I'm
have
not hearing
it
it
on.
anymore though.
Well, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sketch Fighters, episode 177. And we're still having technical difficulties. So today we're running a new format, not necessarily for the show, but just for the technical setup. So just a quick intro. My name's Bernard Chang, professional comic book artist and sketch battle champion. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Let me wear my belt. With me, I have also professional comic book artist and fashion designer, Jerry Ma.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And also our color commentator extraordinaire, Miss Courtney.
Hey everybody.
Fletch was just on
Who is always involved with 24/7 comics now,
yeah,
it seems.
I think, is she cheating on us, Jerry? Is that considered
I
cheating?
think so.
No, because you know what?
What?
Last week, I wasn't told that you guys were streaming, and I was worried for you, Bernard. I was like, oh, it's been like 2 weeks. I haven't heard from him. I know he was traveling. Did something happen? And then I saw it popped up on my YouTube,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh,
stream.
okay.
Well, it was a
Yeah.
last minute stream.
And
I
then
didn't
you're
wanna
like
bother you
doing the same
guys.
thing. You
Sounds
did
like
tell
cheating talk to me.
Yeah,
Bernard.
Still sounds like you're trying to
you did
justify
tell
the cheating on us.
Sean. I was not. I wouldn't dare.
It's not just cheating on us. It's cheating on everybody on the. Cheating on Dr. Midnight, Jamie Odell, Simple Man. Sean Chen should be joining us shortly. I mean, Fletch
Sean
hosted.
cheated before I did.
It seems like 24/7 is poaching. I mean, Jerry, you're next.
I don't think Carl is very interested in talking with me.
Well,
if you tell him you're interested, or if you make contact,
yeah,
he will pull you in.
I mean, he's gotten. Sean is his artistic director, and then I saw Fletch was doing a few episodes, hosting a few episodes for him.
He did. Fletch did.
Yeah, Fletch did the Jay Lee. They had a Jay Lee panel episode on YouTube.
Well, I was just a stand-in for another blonde that he usually has. So it was that's so
Don't
weird.
Say that.
It's true.
Contract negotiations.
Sugar Sean.
Hello, people.
There's Sean Chen, Master Shitster.
Hey, Sean, I got your Nevermind book. It looks pretty freaking awesome.
Oh,
wait,
cool.
Where's mine?
I haven't had a chance to read it, but I've been flipping through it. The art looks fucking awesome. Seriously, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah, I would be very wary about reading it because it's basically 12 issues crammed into 6. So it's fun.
I've only gotten the digital versions. I haven't gotten the hard copies yet. Did they already go out?
Yeah, well, I think they went out to most people, so they're slowly rolling in. I guess they might be, depending on what you got along with it. I think they might be handling all like the difficult ones first.
I think.
Thanks for signing my copy, Sean. Oh wait, it's not signed.
Oh. Was there an option to get a signed copy from Sean's Evermind? Or
I don't think so.
He's like, I don't agree to sign that.
yeah.
Well, everyone bring yours to New York Comic Con, and I'll sign the hell out of it.
So you didn't sign any copies,
Um,
Sean.
No, I don't even have a copy myself. I never seen a printed copy.
Hey, what's everyone's thoughts on New York Comic Con? Did you guys all get your pro passes and all that stuff? John?
Not yet.
Sean, I got a table.
Well, what I usually do is I wait for someone to invite me to speak at a panel or something, and then if I agree to do it, then they usually come to the 4-day pass.
Well, Sean, let me ask you: did Carl get a table for 24/7, or is somehow 24/7 going to be camping out at Jerry and
Chateau
my
de
table?
Bernard.
I mean, you guys are gonna like squat on my table again this year. That's what
He's
I'm
gonna get
feeling.
like a mini sign that goes on top of your sign that says 24/7 Comics,
Yeah.
and then your name will be underneath.
And then when we take a bathroom break and we come back, it's suddenly all 24/7 Comics.
And repeat the mistake too. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, make sure you guys hit this follow button. I found the follow button. Look at that.
Where is it? I don't think
I haven't seen that thing for a
noticed.
couple of years.
I know it was
there
it was
is.
hidden underneath. I actually cleaned my table yesterday, my desk. You can see the orange. You see the orange over here? Let me move the camera a little
Oh
bit.
God! Yes.
Look at that. You can actually see the
Yeah, that-
orange.
You
The follow
cleaned
button.
your office?
It's the second most difficult button to locate.
Just the two tables because my Wacom gave out.
Gave out?
Yeah,
Oh,
it went on the kibbutz, so
doesn't work
I
anymore.
had to buy a new one.
Okay.
Well, I actually
Wait,
bought a used
you're
one.
buying a new Wacom?
I bought a new one. I bought a used one for $200. So I'm
That's a
figuring.
good deal.
I mean the new ones are like either $1,300 for the same exact one that I have now, but they don't make them. It's a newer version, or $3,000 for the new 22-inch Pro.
I was thinking of getting that one.
Yeah, so it's $3,000. So I was thinking like I was looking on Craigslist and
Pocket change, Bernard.
Facebook Marketplace, and one guy had it for $220. So because mine was about
Does it work?
It was 10 years. Well, I plugged it in. It turns on. My other one.
Is there packing tape on the screen?
Yeah, there
It's
is
Vacom.
There's a little.
It's the Chinese knockoff.
It's it's a little
crap.
weird. I think it might be. There's something might be. Because then when I plugged it in, there was like this Chinese option now on my Mac. I'm like, what the? Anyways.
Oh, you got the Chinese Wacom, the Raycom.
Yeah,
fake.
maybe. Well, Jerry, you're gonna get a 24 or the 22, 24, 27, I think, Pro
with the touchscreen.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Just because since I updated my whole computer system.
Oh, so you.
I mean, I bought a new scanner, new iMac, everything. Yeah, so I was like, oh, maybe I should get a new Wacom.
Did you get the gift certificate too?
What's the gift certificate?
I thought you were waiting to update your computer so you can get like
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't wait because my old computer was just killing me. I couldn't even scan and everything, you know. So I had to to finish Conan and to do this new comic I'm doing right now that I don't know if I can say yet, but soon.
Could you say Conan?
Oh, I thought Conan was the one you couldn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Conan's okay to say now,
Okay.
but I have two other comics that soon I'll be able to say.
Well, I figured like
Furiosa.
Huh? Oh, two other comics. Oh, plus today we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about a third comic, right?
Well, not a comic, but I want to talk about the art show. If everyone on the stream wouldn't mind listening, maybe chiming in a little bit. So just to give a quick little backstory on it, Pro River. That's how. So originally, how I did the Monkey King comic, I had a Monkey King art show at Pro River in 2020 of January, right before shit went down. And then, from that art show, once we had the lockdown, I did the comic because I had all that time on my hands. Lo and behold, now Pro River has asked if I wouldn't mind assembling a team of Asian American comic artists to do a comic art show for Asian Heritage Month of next year, which I know sounds crazy. I know that sounds like a long time for everyone, but
That's a long
Bernard
time
and
from
Sean,
now.
I actually think it's not all that long.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get my stuff done for it sooner rather than later. So what I was hoping everyone wouldn't mind chiming in on is, well, now that we've got at least Bernard and Sean and me, and well, I roped in Jerome to do it. And then once we get like a concept and all that stuff, which is what I'm hoping we can discuss, that's when I'm going to try to peer pressure Cliff into doing it, and then a couple other guys.
How many guys total do you want?
I don't know. I was thinking I want to get like a good luck number, right? Because there's plenty of space. So, like I was telling you right before this stream, so this show is going to consist of 3 parts. There's one that's going to be in the gallery of the Pearl River store in Chinatown. Then there's going to be at the Chelsea Market store for Pearl River. We'll have I don't know how many people here have been to Chelsea Market, but they have like art hanging up in the tunnel of the place, and the I don't know, throughout the entire place. So we'll get to hang up artwork there as well. And then at the outdoor dining area, on each table, there'll be those like, I'm sure you've seen like at fancy bars and restaurants, like they'll have the menu on each table in a acrylic block. So inside those acrylic blocks will be artwork from the show, as well as on the sidewalk of Chelsea Market at the outdoor dining area. There will be those like street clings or whatever you call them, the artwork on the sidewalk itself. So, and it'll be up for like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, something like that. I got you.
Isn't it where the Google offices in New York?
Correct.
Yeah, I've been through there. It's amazing. It's like a huge mall underground.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, and I actually think it should be like ideally a pretty nice thing. And like I said, it'll be 3 different areas, so we can kind of like tell a story if we're creative enough. But like any art show, we have to come up with a concept. I mean, I guess we could just put up whatever. Everyone's gonna have their own characters. I don't know how much we're allowed to do stuff like that, but if we can put up our own work, or if we should make new artwork for just this art show.
Can it be a combination of both existing work?
I think so, right?
A new.
So if you want to sell some of your originals, I think it'd be a good opportunity, right, to hit a different audience.
Well, I was getting at so there's many different exhibit spaces, right? So is it all just one? Like, what is it called? Is it like celebration of Asian American comic book creators, or is it celebration of new Asian American superheroes and villains, or wait, hold on. And what is the like?
Oh, James Quote mentions it's Year of the Snake. Is that next year?
Next year,
Year
yeah.
of the Snake? That's interesting.
Let me say hello to everybody in chat real quick. Hello, Dr. Midnight, first in chat. James Quote, good to see James Quote here. Thanks for the resub, 35 months. Wow. It's hard to imagine that we've been doing this for almost 4 years. James Quo, Jamie Odell, Crispy Papa, greetings from Melbourne. Simple Man, all the way from, I want to say Iowa, but I always forget. I don't think it's Iowa. A to the J, tier 1, 48 months. Is it 46? Sorry, my vision is crap. 46 months. Thank you for the resub. Shit. That's how long 2 more months and it'll be like, yeah, 2 more months or 1 more month. It'll be like 4 years, right, Sean? When was our first stream? Like, just during the pandemic when the lockdown.
He wasn't here in the beginning. I heard you in the beginning, Bernard.
You were here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter Cork was the OG co-host.
I was the OG.
Zeploid A4. First time chatter. Welcome to the stream. Zeploid A4. Does that mean you like drawing on 8.5 by 11 paper, or what is A4 stand? Lurky Lurk is here, all the way from Canada. Good to see Lurky Lurk. Canada. La Canada. Mr. Joshua is here. Mr. Joshua. He's also like 45, 46 months. I hope Cool Hand Luke is good. Pretty soon, Cool Hand Luke will be graduating from high school through this stream. We'll have one of our first, kids that we've raised. Yojimbo's our moderator. Good to see Yojimbo. I just found a package of artwork. It's been sitting underneath all this stuff for Yojimbo. So hopefully I'll be able to send it out. Man, I was at the post office yesterday trying to send out a piece of artwork, and there was only 3 or 4 people in front of me, but there was only one lady working at the counter, and she was just taking her sweet ass time. And I was like, I waited there for like 15, 20 minutes, and the line did not move. And I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go to another post office. So.
You ever just use the machines?
They didn't have a machine in the one that's nearest to me. There's another one within walking distance.
Use Pirate Ship.
Huh? What was that?
Use Pirate Ship.
Pirate Ship?
Yeah.
What's Pirate Ship?
Yeah.
Well, you just calculate your own postage by measuring and weighing, and then you print out a label, and then you just drop it by any mailbox drop-off area.
Well,
it's free. It doesn't cost anything.
But you have to print it, right?
Yeah, you gotta print it and you cut it out and stick it on.
Yeah, that's costing me.
Or you have
nothing's for free.
Nothing's for free, Sean. That's costing me ink. I'm not paying for ink.
You have to wait online for an hour and spend 20 cents on ink.
Ink is expensive. I mean, it's like $40 for an ink refill. Way High's here. Good to see you, Way High. Your Jimbo's our moderator extraordinaire. So if you have any questions, somebody said, "Am I using the iPad?" Crispy. Well, what I'm sketching right here, guys, is everyone is I'm sketching. I'm starting a new book today for the House of Ideas, and I'm doing the character sheet. So I'm getting used to drawing the character. I'm actually going to be drawing this oversized 30-page issue traditionally as much as I can. So
that means it's an important character.
So I need to dust off the cobwebs, and this is a major Marvel character. I'm sure maybe by the end of the stream. And today I only have like I gotta cut out by 8 o'clock, which is what is that? 11 o'clock East Coast. So maybe we'll be able to see. I'm sure like halfway through you'll be able to know who this character is. And it's Wonder Woman.
She's looking thick. She's been working out.
She's been working out, yeah. Way High, good to see Way High. Did I catch up with chat? Kevin P. West. I was just thinking of Kevin P. West the other day. Over the weekend, I was thinking like, man, I wish there was football on Sunday. I will not be in San Diego, that's true, but I will be in New York Comic-Con. DYL Pickle's here. DYL Pickle from San Diego. We got a couple San Diego people. Okay, so I think I'm kind of caught up. So Jerry,
Um, so you got to think about a theme for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
what would you want to draw, Sean?
I don't know. That's going to take some thought, but you are going to have a theme, right? So we just can't use all the work that we already have, right? We'd have to create some. You want to make an experience, right? By creating some sort of connection between all the stuff, maybe even have some sort of a narrative.
yeah.
Yes, ideally. So Sean, if you could just figure that out and then I'll tell them, that would be really great.
Okay, how about Evermind? There you go. All right, and that'll be easy for me.
It's yours, so you can do pretty
Well,
much whatever you want with it.
It's,
Well,
but I think people have done things like this in the past, so we can see like what works. I don't know, like a reoccurring character that you don't have to see too much of to understand who it is. You know, I don't know.
Well, okay. So it's interesting. Sean brought up an experience. The word experience, right? So I think that's valuable in how maybe we're thinking about what this show might be. So, well, Jerry, what was the initial approach? What was the initial concept?
There was none. They just, I remember I was at an event, some like food event thing, and they just kind of literally approached me at the thing and were just like, hey, like, would you want to have an art show for Asian Heritage Month next year? And I was like, okay. And, I didn't really think too much of it. I had a couple drinks in me, so I was like, sure, I'll say yes to anything at this point. And then they hit me up again and were like, well, we just want to make sure that you actually want to do it. And then they said they were kind of hoping to get like a group, and they've mentioned this to me in the past. I just never really thought too much of it, but they mentioned like doing some kind of Asian American group comic art show, and where they just kind of hope that we can come up with some new Asian superheroes.
Well, you did the Monkey King release. How was that?
So that was January of 2020, and it happened to be on like the worst weather day of the year. But
What was that?
yeah, but to that day, they said that was one of their more successful art shows. So they, what they do is they allow, let's say, okay, you guys, assuming you guys are into art show, assuming you guys want to do it, I mean, you guys would have your stuff selling, whatever you want to sell in the store, they'll sell for you at all of their locations for the duration of the art show. And which is, for me, that was pretty nice. So I, got to unload a whole bunch of stuff from my inventory. And what else? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm penciling a page right now as well. But it was cool because, there was a lot of people. Then also, I was the first person to get a food sponsor for it. So obviously, we had Whole Food makes companies back for the art show. And rather than, they offer up like beer and cheap wine, but that wasn't going to cut it for me. So we went and got some Ichigo to, for everyone to drink during the show. And it was fun. I think Sean was there.
It was great. Yeah, I saw Fletch and Cliff Chang was there too.
So
well attended. Yeah.
The easiest, or what is the okay? So if we have a couple of different ideas out there, idea A is what the least path of least resistance. What is that?
I don't think you can really do it like a sequential story, because I think people will happen upon the parts at different times, because this is also spilling out the Chelsea market and all that, and on the menu stuff. So I think the most you can do is like I know like the Azuki, those NFT things, they try to have reoccurring characters, and they're implying that there's a big world and a whole narrative thing, but there's no story because there just is none. So everything's sort of like a mood board that has like a few reoccurring characters and a location, and you just know that there's some magic involved. There might be some like you pick a dragon or some strange animals and some cool looking futuristic people who hang out in future bars, and that's kind of it. I mean, you really can't tell too much of a story, but you can just kind of pick this world and build a world, and then just draw this, cool stuff that inhabit that world. And I think that's probably the most you can do.
Yeah, I mean, making original characters is always a little worrisome to me because you're making characters with no history. Like, no one's going to give a crap about them. So I always think, Bernard, this is something, remember, many, many moons ago, we talked about doing something like this where we were highlighting actual real-life Asian heroes.
Mm-hmm.
We could do something like that, but then we actually have to draw likenesses and stuff like that.
You're also limited to the real world, so I don't like if this were like like Jeff Darrow, if he were to do this, he would kind of give you that experience with like a world that he creates, and like maybe like that like Shaolin cowboy type thing, and you don't really know the story, but there's just hot visuals that everyone would draw, and that's the good thing about a fictional world, is that you can actually make things kind of really cool to look at.
Well, okay. So Jerry, there's how many rooms are these things going to be? There's different spaces that this exhibit is going to take place in, right?
So let me check the email here. There is. So first and foremost, there is the gallery space in the Pearl River Chinatown store, which
And that's,
it's not a huge room, but it's in the email. It's like I mean, there's enough to hang a lot of artwork in there. So like,
is that the space but that's not the space that you had the exhibit in last time.
no. So the place I had my show in, that place doesn't even exist anymore. That was right before the pandemic, and the pandemic wiped out. That place was giant.
Your show
So that
wiped
place
out.
is no
Your show
longer in
was one
existence.
of the patient zeros.
It was the after there was one other show, but it was literally during lockdown, like right before lockdown.
Okay.
So that Pearl River store did not survive the pandemic.
Wow, it's been forever. We should make all the artwork up.
Hold on.
I mean, it would be cool to draw parts of Chinatown, but that's like a lot of work. If you guys are okay with that, sure. But
I mean, if you make like a Kira Universe version of that Chinatown, where it's kind of like super cool stuff plus the old stuff, it is going to be a ton of work. But I think that would be a cool thing to see.
Wait, so let me write this down. I need a. My brain works in a way. I gotta write it down.
I sent you the email. I forwarded you the email.
Well, I got the
It's
mail
coming up pretty soon.
So, now I reorganized all my pens. I don't know where anything is. Okay. So what are the different spaces? There's I'm writing this down for
Pearl River
everybody to see.
Chinatown Gallery.
So Pearl River, okay. So there's the gallery space, and then what
And
else?
then in Chelsea Market, shit. Crap, I just dropped my eraser. Let me go back to the email.
Chelsea Market is the thing where Sean says the Google is.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay. Chelsea Market, there's a large painting outside of the Pearl River store in Chelsea Market, which is 48 by 72 inches.
Okay.
So that one we can put a giant piece there. Then there's a hallway with a whole bunch of places, and then so in the hallway there's a whole bunch of pieces. Then in the meatpacking tables, the outdoor dining area, there's the tables as well as the sidewalk itself. And then we could have, for whoever's interested, there could be signings at each, at the Chelsea Market store as well as the Pearl River Chinatown store.
And you said the market area. Let me make sure. Are we still online? Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I switched Wi-Fi. I want to make sure we're still on. Otherwise, we're talking to nothing. Okay, so
okay, James said we're still streaming. It paused for a bit, but it's okay now.
You didn't miss much.
Okay, so
we're just doing homework and spreadsheets here.
So Jerry, this is pictures from the first one, just to refresh everybody. Right? This is from the initial Pearl River.
Oh yeah, but that's from the place that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. But just to give everybody an idea of like, oh, there's Sean. Look at Sean. Sean, why are you like?
Where am I? I'm not there.
You're on the upper right-hand corner. Are you the overhead shot yet? There's a delay. Look, Sean looks
There's
like
Sean.
he's...
There's Fletch, and there's Curtis. Oh, and there's that dude from Baby Driver, the Asian guy.
Oh, this is an overhead shot. You don't see Sean?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
He looks like he's
I'm
gonna
like
like...
lurking about.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna like kill somebody. It's like, I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. Look at that
Because I
guy.
heard there is this sickness coming soon. It was very communicable.
Yeah, he's like, who's that guy wearing a suit? What the fuck? Why is that guy wearing a hat?
Oh yeah, that's Trad Moore.
Oh, I spoke to Trad there a lot. Yeah,
Really?
we hung out with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Trad Moore is super popular now.
Who's Chad Moore?
Trad Moore's style is so bizarre and out there. I don't even
Yeah,
know what to say
crazy
about
in a complimentary way.
it. Yeah.
There's Cliffy.
Hey, Cliff.
So there was also the VP of Netflix animation there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a wall. There's a red wall. What was this? This was Hongball's.
Brandon Peterson.
Now, did you decorate this place, or Pearl River decorated it?
I actually did it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is that what you think of it?
That was a bus. That was a bus passing by outside.
There's a lady.
There's Perry.
Oh, ladies.
Jerry.
There's Ken. Okay. All right. Who's the
I'm
girl
actually
with the red
meeting
sleeves?
Perry tomorrow for drinks. She worked at Pro River. I can't remember her name.
All right. So, okay. So that was just you just had it in that one space there.
Yeah.
So this experience is going to be. It's still going to be in the store, the gallery space.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other posts from the Pearl River, or?
I don't think so.
You can look up. You said throughout Chelsea Market, or
Yeah, wait. God, let me go back to this email again. I think they gave us a couple links.
is that far? What did you eat?
All right. So that's everybody gets a sense of what this is.
I'm going
Fletch
to
is-
text you,
Ooh,
Bernard.
There's D.
Or I
Rogers.
guess I'm gonna switch.
D. Rogers, thanks for the resub. 46 months. Thank you so much, D. Rogers. I hope everything's going well. I was gonna ask D. Rogers about the. What's this?
This is at the Chelsea market where there's artwork hanging right now.
Okay.
Oh, show that.
All right. What's going on here?
The Chelsea market's just full of Google employees having lunch.
So. Okay.
And this is the little gallery space in the Chinatown store I'm sending right now.
So they have this. So we have this wall here. Right. And then there's okay. No, here we go. Okay. Then this is the gallery space that you're sending me with the white walls.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like it's a narrow horizontal space, like a hallway. Okay. What comes to your mind, Courtney? Anything?
Well, I think all of your art is very different. So I would
That's a problem.
say that you'd want some sort of theme, and then have it kind of like if you're gonna have prints, kind of have a decorative, Asian inspired theme, kind of if that's uh, almost like around the picture that kind of brings everything together, or certain I mean, if you're hung up on Asian superheroes, I mean, that's one thing, but I think people will just really appreciate kind of any, Asian inspired art, unless they ask you in specifically, Jerry, for like superheroes. But
I mean, it doesn't have to be superheroes,
Yeah.
right? I think as long as it's comic artists in their comic style, if you will.
Fantasy.
absolutely.
How about like
Well, what does the stream think? Should it be comic like superheroes, or can it just be comic artists drawing what they think is cool?
or like that futuristic Chinatown thing, or it's like very
Oh, Sean just wants to
I
draw a
think
bunch of backgrounds.
but then
True.
like the people will be like futuristic streetwear. So there's fashion involved, and then there's foods, the traditional foods, but just like that weird.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think
D.
Sean,
Rogers thinks what you think is cool is cool.
I think Sean is on a
Yeah,
good.
Big Trouble in Little China. There you go.
Well, I think Sean's on a good path here, and I do think there's this by subdividing Chinatown. What's the magic of Chinatown? Right, is my question. Right, like to me, when I'm walking down Chinatown, New York City, aside from trying to avoid my former ex brother-in-law, would be like you look down like streets, you look down alleyways, and nowadays there's a mixture of like new and older buildings, but there's a sense of mystery around the corner at times, but mystery and history. So within that, like if you walk down Canal Street, that's one thing, right? If you walk down Mott Street, that's another. If you walk down, what are some other streets? Hudson, there's a Hudson a street. Elizabeth,
Well, Jimbo is saying magic of Chinatown is visiting China without leaving the country. So what I think that means is a feeling of being able to go home without having to hop on a 15-hour flight, right?
it is part of
Bring you
that. I
back
mean, well,
to-
part of that is like getting foods or things, or because the architecture is slightly different, but it would be getting clothing or meeting people or seeing people or experiencing a little bit of like your homeland without having to go back overseas. I mean, the history of Chinatown is that the Chinese laborers were forced to live in the slummiest of slums because that was the only place that they were allowed to live, right?
Yeah.
And so, um, and that's why they were all kind of like packed into a particular area. Um, they weren't allowed to own property up until I don't know when, 1900 something. Um, so, less than 100 years ago, you and I could not own any property. Um, so everything was consolidated into a particular neighborhood. Um, there's a sci-fi element that Sean is bringing up where are we looking into the future of Chinatown or what Chinatown will look like?
Well, sci-fi and fantasy, like in the way that someone mentioned Big Trouble in Little China horror, that's kind of a little bit tongue in cheek. But if it encompassed the sci-fi stuff and also just like weird mysticism and magic, just to make it more exotic and interesting looking.
Well, so here's one proposal I would throw out is that you give each participant one street. So you want to give Sean like Canal Street, Bowery is the other street, right? You want to give Jerome Bowery. You want to take Mott Street, and then come up with your own version of what that neighborhood would look like around a nook, around an alleyway. If you were to open one of these doors, you open up into what, and like so. If it was Sean's project or Sean's assignment, he might lean towards a more sci-fi futuristic angle, where he can kind of do. I mean, and as I think about this, I'm trying to speak. I'm thinking about it a little bit. I'm already like 3 or 4 steps down, so I'm forgetting a little bit of the stuff that I'm thinking about. But like, I don't know if you want to have like a boss per street, which would be the, like the godfather of that street or that block, and then Sean becomes the designer of that. But and I don't know if that's a negative connotation towards like having gangs because that is part of the history of Chinatown. But
A little bit. If whether it's good or bad, I don't know how people would take it.
Well, some kind of organizing component, because the background, the street itself is really just about as a setting seeds for story components that could pop up, and then so like, do you know anything about Mott Street, Jerry or Sean, or do you know anything about any of these streets?
Well, you've got the Bloody Angle, right? That's the
Oh yeah,
the bloodiest street in American history.
like Lawyer Street or something like that.
Yeah. So that's the street where they had the most executions at in the history of America.
Gang executions or judicial
Yeah.
executions?
Gang executions.
But now you can get good dumplings there.
Yeah, I mean, there
Well,
is.
they also
Go ahead.
they also have Namwa, which boasts to be the first dim sum parlor in New York.
Right. Again, like a brainstorming session. This is something that we would just all be like, okay, so I'm gonna say something. You guys cannot agree. You guys can also not agree with it, right? And because it's perfectly fine. Right now, we don't know what any of this is going to be. So, but listening to Sean saying something about the Chinatown sci-fi, I could think, okay, well, you can have a sci-fi street. You can also have like a cutesy street, like a Tokidoki kind of
Maid Cafe.
Not maid cafe. It's more
Different
Japanese,
vibes.
but like something cutesy.
Robot Maid Cafe. Sorayama Robot Cafe.
Well, again, it's Chinatown, so we got to think about like, but it could be like there could be a street that's cutesy. There could be a street that talks about a historical component, like a hero from the history. Um, so what you're doing is maybe generational heroes. So if it appeals to Sean to draw a sci-fi futuristic version, then he can have the freedom to do that, but within the constraints of a specific neighborhood in Chinatown, right? If so that way, Jerry, you can bring in, if you wanted to bring in an artist that maybe does a little bit more cutesy stuff, right? They could have their version of this hero or this whatever character or series of characters from their perspective, based off of, again, specifically the use of the streets is only to provide reference and foundation, a quick reference and foundation for whatever character you want to come up with. It's almost like a cheat code, because there's already a pre-established history that people will already come into the show with reference for, right? Maybe someone that grew up on Mott Street or someone that grew up on Elizabeth Street will have a much more affinitive attachment to a particular aspect. But so again, so my pitch right now is using different streets to assigning different streets or are there blocks of Chinatown that are considered like districts or territories or?
Well, I mean, back with the gang stuff, there was like the Bayard Boys and stuff like that. But
I mean,
I don't know if that's what we want to glorify.
Yeah, I'm assuming they don't want to go towards the gang aspect, right? But so I'm thinking a little bit more still with just the a referencing of blocks, like streets, as opposed to because like my ex-brother-in-law, they own particular swaths of real estate in Chinatown, right? So and then we know somebody else that owns a couple buildings here and there, and so there's the grandfather. He's not a grandfather. My father-in-law was not even father-in-law. Is it considered a father-in-law? The brother-in-law's father?
I guess so.
Like they own swaths of land in Chinatown, literally. And so I don't know. What do you think about that? Any opinions? Radio silence?
I think it's good. I think it's cohesive, and
I didn't know there was a
brings some
difference in
history.
the blocks and stuff. So I mean, the streets. Are there really that much difference in the streets?
Well, that's partly to find out, right? To do a little bit of research on. But certain streets are known for certain things, right? There's some streets have restaurants, or some streets have factories or businesses. Some streets might be the first street to have, this Columbus Park is a park that's in Chinatown. So again, it's about using Chinatown as a foundation for the storytelling, right? Or is this too much?
I'm sorry, I'm writing
I'm not getting a lot of feedback here.
Sorry, I was typing it in the chat. What was that?
Any thoughts?
Well, what do you think so far?
Positive or negative?
Like,
Oh,
And look,
positive,
it could be
but I would
negative.
say the only negative I would say, yeah, the only negative I would say is just knowing a guy like Jerome, for example.
oh yeah,
That's a lot of thought for him to be doing, and I don't know how much thought he's going to put into it, to be perfectly honest.
Well, okay.
well,
So
is he drawing anything? Would he be drawing anything, or is it just using work he already has? I mean, he's gonna have to draw something, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were joking. He was like, going to try to do some Filipino food superhero.
well, isn't he Taiwanese too? Well,
What?
he's Filipino, but he's born in.
He's a Filipino. But he was raised in southern Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
But
So
the food superhero?
Philip. Okay, so this is an interesting aspect now. So the Chinatown concept would not necessarily work for someone like Jerome, right? Because he recognizes more as Filipino American. And if the month is about Asian American, do we need to include, because my only initial thought was that since Pearl River is in Chinatown and that this location is in Chinatown, it would be something cool to represent, and it'll draw in at least a foundational referencing, meaning like people actually will understand Chinatown or history of it. But from Jerome or who else are you looking to bring in?
Well, obviously we're going to get some girls to join the art show. It can't just be a bunch of dudes,
We
right?
already got Sean.
So we do have Sean. But there's this one girl I know. Her name's Jui. She's Bangladesh, and she's a pretty talented illustrator. So she'll be taking part in it.
Okay, so she's. Oh yeah, so then Asian American, I guess you got to be inclusive of East Asian,
All
and then
Asian,
Southeast
yeah.
Asian, and so then the
Well, would it help to have, like, if you think of like was it Rusty the robot, and then there's that Atom Boy kid that looks there's one that's a big robot and one's a cartoon character, and then if
Yeah.
you come up with a character like say these are the character and this is the style guide of these characters, and you can do something with it. This is important that we have, because if everyone's drawing different characters, then you really have nothing, because everyone's drawing different things. There's no story attached to it. But with something like Rusty the Boy Robot, you don't need any story. You look at the contrast between like one's a giant and one's a cartoon character, and it's just fun to see them without any type of narrative attached to them. And then the fact that everyone's drawing the same familiar characters in their own style helps, rather than having like 7 different characters and there's no history on or anything. That just I came up with this guy and he's here, and so you think it would help to have like a unified characters set that we would just all draw, just to kind of be under one umbrella?
Or piggybacking off of Sean's idea, so many different Asian cultures have their own kind of you have the monkey prince, but then Japanese culture has a ton of other little characters that fictional characters, and I know Filipino culture does too. So I think every culture has kind of a fun childhood story characters that aren't trademarked and can be used.
Like the Japanese and their ghosts.
Yeah, kind of. They have what, Kotaro? I'm kind of forgetting.
What is that raccoon?
Musashi.
Musashi. like
Awesome.
like the samurai.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some fictional ones, but then there's also like a ton of other like childhood stories. They have Peach Boy. Peach Boy is one of them. Momotaro, yeah. And but those are, if you do have somebody, a
Okay.
Japanese artist, you can be like, hey, do you want to do, this kind of character, in your own, you're representing your culture in this, Asian American Heritage Month. So, and, and that's just a thought. Especially, I'm sure I haven't heard of any, but I'm sure your friend who's Bangladesh. I have a Bangladeshi friend. I'm sure there's some like really interesting, kind of childhood stories they probably heard too. So I don't know, just thoughts. That would kind of bring things together in one kind of like umbrella of these fun fictional characters that you heard growing up as a kid.
Here's an side note to some of this is it's Asian American AAPI, so whatever that stands for, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage
Yeah.
Month. But I think a lot of times, to me, what's lost is the American component to the Asian American experience. So
That's true.
politically, like, if you bring in someone from like that's lived in Japan, for example, hypothetically, right? That's like an overseas person, and then just have them contribute to this, and then come up with something that's just Japanese. To me, that is not necessarily what AAPI Heritage Month is about. It's more about the components of Asians in America and what Asian Americans have contributed to in the building of America, right? So, not so much just Asian stuff.
That's true. Although these stories is really brings more of the art and the history of their culture too. So, I mean, as artists, that's kind of what you're able to bring as Asian Americans too. Really, to share that part. So, I mean, there can be Jerry's Bangladesh friend. Maybe she's new to America. I'm just saying, like maybe she's many generations in. Maybe she's kind of new. Like, so what is her story going to be versus somebody who is many generations in too? Her story might be a little different. She might want to share her heritage from back being an American now, or something like that. So
Yeah, I mean, then from that perspective of an immigrant or immigrant perspective, I think that is definitely valid in the. So again, I mean, I'm just throwing out a question, right? So I don't know how Jerry and Sean feels about this, or Chat. How does Chat feel about this?
Or chat, is this too boring to talk about? Should we move on? I'm being serious. I don't want to like bog it down with everyone either.
Well, we can think about this stuff and reconvene. I mean, not like it's happening next week.
Yeah.
you got 11 months. Hurry up.
You want
See,
to
it
play
sounds
guess
like
which
11 months,
character?
but you do not have actually 11 months, right?
Technically,
Because we have to send
That's
stuff to
true,
print and
that's
get
yeah, like
framed and all that.
8 to 9 months, right? Because you got to get stuff printed and made.
Yeah.
You need to give Jerome time.
Yeah, Jerome needs like 6 months just to come up with an idea.
I mean, or is it just? I mean, look. So my first question was the path of least resistance would be just to come up with an Asian American superhero, right? So just do like a sketch or a drawing or a cover piece, like a cover for a new comic. Um, that would be the easiest. There's no cohesiveness required. There's no, you're not creating a universe or anything that's, and you're also probably not, what's the experience, right? It's just, oh, we're at a Comic-Con. Is that the experience? Like a special Comic-Con celebrating um, characters based off of Asian American heritage tropes or powers, or is there something more? And or do you want to do something more? And or is there time to do something more? So I do think there is an opportunity to create an experience based off of different locations. So, you have the Chelsea Market, you have the outdoor dining area, and then the main gallery. So the whatever is in the Chelsea Market and the outdoor dining area could be one part of the experience that when you come into the gallery and when you come into Pearl River Mart, the other pieces of artwork in there fulfills a particular story narrative, and you get some kind of payoff at the gallery experience at the end. And then when you leave, you pick up a sticker or a T-shirt or a print as a takeaway. So I do think we can incorporate an experience out of this, but there needs to be a cohesiveness. And I mean, you can still do it with just random superheroes, I think. But is there something more? Is there something more that you want to say? I mean, I think that's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Jerry, is there something more you want to say? Sean, is there something that you want to say? Because really, that's what the month is about, right? It's about what's the messaging here? Is there anything deep that you want to input? Or if you don't, you don't have to. It's not everybody's path to, you could choose not to do anything. That's the freedom as an American. But if you do want to do something, then is there something that's across everybody that can make the experience or make the exhibit much more powerful than just what the easiest path.
And it will be Year of the Snake, like what James had mentioned earlier.
Yeah. And that could be something where are we creating different things around the snake? But again, Asian American, if we're including Southeast Asians or other, East Indian, does that work into the component of that? So but Pearl River has no requirements, right? There's no.
Yeah, as long as we're not insulting anyone,
Okay, because I mean, Pearl River could very much say, "Look, hey, we want a Chinatown themed based exhibit," because they're based in Chinatown, right? They don't have any other locations anywhere else.
Well, Chelsea Market and.
Where is Chelsea Market?
And then Chinatown.
I'm not that familiar with. What street is it?
Chelsea Market is
23rd Street.
Was it like 17th or 18th Street?
So it's not in Chinatown.
No. It's in the meatpacking district.
Okay.
It's Chelsea Piers, isn't it? Where we used to go bowling and stuff.
I mean, you can walk to Chelsea Piers from there. It's not in Chelsea Pier though. It's like Chelsea Piers. I always think of It's basically 23rd to like 20th Street on the water, whereas Chelsea Market is on what is that, like 10th Avenue? It's pretty close. Like it's very much within walking distance.
But what do they sell in Pearl River? Mostly Chinese stuff, or it's all
Asian goods.
So it's
basically just Asian goods. Anything from snacks to art to comics to like art supplies, Asian stuff.
Do they sell?
I know that sounds silly, but sorry.
Do they sell Evermind in there?
They could.
No.
I'm sure they would. Honestly.
Sean.
Well, put that in Carl's ear.
I mean, they sell the Monkey King.
Yeah. All right. Well, has Chad figured out who this character is yet? I mean, I think you can pretty much figure it out.
A Marvel character.
It's Wonder Woman.
Wonder
But
Woman.
Is that Captain America?
You can tell by
oh
her
yes,
hair.
Captain America. Yeah, you can see the star.
Yeah, if I drew the star, I would give it away.
Are you going to draw every scale, or are you going to just draw like a flat shirt?
I'm gonna have to draw every scale, man.
Yeah, that's hard.
Within
But it looks
uh,
awesome.
Logistically, it's hard.
within reason, right? Because that's every time I see the character, and someone just draws like a T-shirt over him, and then
Are you going to
What was
draw
that?
the Rob Liefeld version with
Who was
the
that?
eagle on his forehead?
no, I'm thinking
The wings.
it's in
You know, he
Was
has a
that
star on his
flat?
back.
huh?
That was not Fletch.
That was Courtney.
That was Courtney.
Yeah, that was me.
And where do you get that sound out of that tiny body?
That was pretty weak. I can do it much louder, way more disgusting.
Sean, you've drawn Captain America multiple times.
I never drew the book, but it's
but
a
you've
very
drawn the
common
character,
commission request.
right? What do you have any
Yeah.
secrets, tidbits?
Well, are you doing a three-dimensional star on his chest? Like, I don't think you really can't mess with him too much.
No. Well, I'm sketching it as if it's a three-dimensional star, but
I don't think it's ever been that. In fact,
in the
I'm not even
movies,
sure how. Oh yeah, but
in the
even
movies,
then,
isn't it three-dimensional?
no.
I think it's slightly three-dimensional in the movies, man. It's not a flat star.
He's actually so different in the movie. So, the main difference is whether that cowl is like a piece of cloth or whether it's like a helmet.
Yeah. It's a little dimensional in this, see?
Hey Bernard,
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
what's your opinion on the Ryan King faded art
On the what?
as per Poop Kid?
And what's Rain King faded art?
Yeah, I was hoping you guys could tell me what that means.
I'm too old to know what that is. You might as well say skibbity toilet.
Poop Kid. What's up,
What?
Poop Kid? What's ranking faded
Oh,
art?
re-inking.
Oh, re-inking faded art.
Re-inking faded art. We're like, ranking? What's ranking?
Is old.
Who's re-inking it? And who drew the original art?
No, faded art.
Faded art, like what? Like faded ink art and
I
then
don't think you
re-inking it?
should. Can't you just play with Photoshop levels to get that ink back?
Hmm.
I mean,
Isn't that what AI is for?
Yeah.
well, the new Captain America has like these pouches on his belt, right? But
Yeah,
here's
because he keeps all sorts of American memorabilia in there.
There's lots of
re-inking.
Zippo lighters.
I wouldn't re-ink it. You know, if it fades, it fades. I mean, basically, you're retouching.
But isn't that what they do to the Mona Lisa like every couple of years?
Do they?
Repaint it? No.
No, they
No.
clean
Yeah.
it.
They take the glaze off.
Preserve it.
But they're not. But
Do they add to it though?
I mean, the murals and the frescoes, they clean and then they kind of repaint, right? But they're not selling it, so I think the question is if you're going to sell the artwork, If you're gonna sell the artwork, what's an analogy? If you bought a car and it starts rusting and you repaint it, and you resell it,
That's restoration.
that's a restoration, right? So, but then you have to sell it. You have to market it as a restored car. So, yeah, if you want to re-ink stuff that's faded, but then you have to market it as a restored piece of artwork. It's not an original anymore, right?
It's whatever the market will bear. I mean, some people would prefer it to be retouched because it looks like crap when it's all faded. So
Yeah.
So it depends on what they'll just pay more for.
And then I think, value-wise, if you're looking at, talking about value of the art, if you're going to resell, if you had the original artist re-ink it, but if you had, some regular person, Joe Schmo off the street, re-ink it, that needs to be, if you're going to sell it, I think it needs to be disclosed, because you're not selling the original anymore. You're selling a restored original. If it gets re-inked by the same artist, I think it's one thing. But then if you're not going to sell it and you just want to have it up in your home, you could kind of do whatever with it you want. So, I don't know, Sean, Jerry, Courtney?
Scan it.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
you can just scan it and ink it over again, so you have two pieces.
Well, that's good. That's another point. Why not scan it in, re-ink as a separate piece, hang that up, enjoy that,
Oh, Fletch is here.
and then put the other one in storage.
We got to here,
Hardy har.
Fletch, there's a
Oh,
sale.
what's
Mint
happening?
Mobile went to
Happening,
$15 a month now. You can get off the Boost. The Boost
Oh my
Mobile.
God.
Mint Mobile's $15 a month now.
I'm happy with my Verizon.
Okay.
You're on
You have a-
Verizon.
Right, you're Verizon, right? I think Fletch went to some some
It's not
neighborhood.
Fletch, it's Etch.
You know when you go into like
Something.
the neighborhoods and they have like their own Sammy's mobile service.
Mm.
I think you know more about that than anybody else does, Bernard.
So what's up, Fletch? Would you re-ink an original?
How to read it? Did I what?
Would you re-ink an original?
Would I re-ink an original?
Yeah, re-ink
If it's
over it
faded.
if it's faded.
I would have somebody I trust to do it.
So you would.
I would, yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know if I would. Hang on. Let me think about this.
It'll look better over your sofa in your living room. So you're gonna hang it up, and it just doesn't look good when it's faded.
Like kind of like the that it ages too. I don't know. I can go.
Thanks, Etch.
Wait, what is they call our city ops?
I say scan it and then ink a scan and then keep the original in a flat file.
To me, the answer is no.
Yes.
Blasphemy. All right, well, like if you had a Frank Miller piece, you were at the Frank Miller screening last night. How was it?
I'm inking it.
I'm redrawing it.
No, I mean like if I had a Frank Miller piece, and it was Klaus Janson that inked it, I would ask Klaus again to bring it if it's fake or something.
You would not ask moi.
I'll do it for half price.
Yeah.
I would no inker if he's still around. If he's not around, then I would keep it the way it is.
Sean would get Scott Hanna to ink it.
Well, you know how they call inkers tracers. So what is a person who re-inks something? That's like a tracer of a tracer. So you don't need. You can get me to do that, or I can get my son.
I'll do it. I'll do it for a quarter of the price.
Inker artist too. Come on, man.
I'll even sign it for you.
Joe Bob sell you.
So Bernard, the important question about your Captain America is: are you gonna have those like wizard sleeve boots, or are you gonna put on like combat boots?
No, he has to.
Wizards.
He has to match a particular level of continuity within the. And I'm not a big
So what
fan
does
of
he have
these.
now? Does he have those felt Disney boots? Does he have that now?
He
in
has
continuity?
I have drawn Captain America before in an issue of Children of the Atom. But yeah, so I have to draw these pirate swashbuckling, which I don't get. That's the one thing I never got, even as a kid in the 70s and 80s. I never got these. Why
Like
these loop overs?
Bell bottoms.
Yeah. Why do they loop over? Like,
I think we're back in style, though. We're back in style now.
I mean, why? Or are they supposed to be like up here and then it just falls and then they fell down?
Yeah, they're thigh highs, but then
Yeah.
when he runs, they fall down.
I mean, what is the strategic?
And his heels broke off too.
Like, look, he has like chainmail on his chest, right? Okay, so that's because what? Bulletproof, or just because he's he's fighting? I mean, he's a World War II character, right? I don't know.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off. I'm pretty freaking tired.
All right, Jerry.
Tired, getting
I
bored.
don't know if you got anything out of this discussion. But,
I did, actually, I did.
Yeah.
I realized never talk about it with you guys.
Yes. Him and Jerome are gonna be doing it.
You guys are,
No,
like,
but that was helpful. Bernard, actually, if we can talk about more in depth later on, and you too, Sean, all kidding aside,
Without
if you guys
Sean,
wouldn't
right?
mind, like, I mean, like privately. Yeah, without Sean,
Yeah.
so we have some good ideas. All this sci-fi nonsense, sheesh.
Sean just wants to talk shit.
So what do you, Jerry? Are you in favor of re-inking or not?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm only in favor of re-inking it if it's Frank Miller.
Oh,
No,
It's really redrawing.
I would, it's interesting. All right, so I have these Mike Mignola pencil drawings of Hellboy up on my wall right now.
Oh, so
And
this
a
is
couple
really
friends were
your
over,
question, Jerry.
recently. Yeah. So I was told, because, you know, at some point they're going to fade, but they're framed. So I think I have to open them up from the frame, which I spend hundreds of dollars on for each one. Open them up, scan them in, because like a douchebag, I never scanned in the originals, but I do need to scan in, get a good scan of those pencils just so I can, you know, keep it forever. But I plan on just letting it fade. But I think I'm going to spray it down with some fixative or some kind of, you know, archival spray.
Yeah.
To keep as long as I possibly can. But I
Yeah,
need to,
UV
unfortunately,
glass.
crack open the frames again.
You have UV glass on those frames?
I do.
that should be fine.
But I am really tired, guys, so I'm going to head out of here.
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy
No.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Well, okay. You guys have just witnessed a creative brainstorming charrette where we didn't come up with anything.
There's like
This is so Hollywood.
Only more frustrated. Jerry signed off based off of frustration. Okay, so well, my next question. You see these like the chainmail. Sean, how would you draw the
It
chainmail
makes no
for?
sense. I never could work it out. It doesn't work out because it's a compound curved surface,
Yeah.
and it's impossible. So a lot of times in the old days, it's just a texture effect that you don't do the whole thing. The only one person that actually figures it out and does the whole thing is Jim Chung.
Oh yeah. Is
Give
there,
him a ring, Bernard.
is there Jim Chung?
Isn't Didn't John Cash also have good effect? with
Yeah,
chainmail?
well, John Cassidy kind of cheats by making them gigantic dollar bill, making them bigger. But if you think about it, there's no way it can work in real life because they kind of it's a compound curved surface, so they all can't be the same size and still overlap like roof shingles. It just doesn't work.
Well, look at this. I think Mr. Chung is cheating here.
Well, you have to
Those are
change the scale.
big. Those are big. Like,
And these are
Those are big
hexagonal.
Yeah.
Is it
So yeah,
hexagon
that's
or
his thing is the
pentagonal?
hexagon.
Hexagon. Yeah. So hexagon, I think
six.
you can do, but yeah, these are hexagonal.
Yeah, it's a disco ball.
I don't know if I could do hexagon. I mean, I could. Yeah, I mean, hexagon would resolve it. Here, it's not even. This is like more like patties.
Yeah. Who's that?
Which one?
Who drew that? The padding. Was that Jim Chung too?
I think that was Jim.
That's Jim.
I think Joe Quesada says that he doesn't draw them because it really depends on your style. Like if you have a curvy style, then you just draw like a patch of fish scales, and then your eye just kind of fills in the rest, and you never have to figure it out. But if you have a realistic style, like Travis Charest, then there's just no way you can do it.
Yeah, and then also the helmet or the face is it an actual helmet, or is it just like a cloth?
In the movie, it's a helmet.
Yeah.
Because I think in the movies they try to make it out of cloth, and then when he turns his head, like the ears would warp, and then the one eye would get covered up. So they just made it like a helmet.
Yeah.
In the original Captain America movie from a long time ago, they solved the ear problem by just putting fake latex ears on top of the costume.
Oh, right. That's the first. When he had a bicycle or motorcycle.
Yeah,
and he had a
motorcycle,
motorcycle helmet. So I guess what you're trying to say is that the workaround is to have bigger scale, right?
Well, that doesn't solve all problems. It's just less work. I think the ideal thing to do is just to imply the scales, because if you try to cover the surface with that, it's like the problem with the spider webs on Spider-Man. Like in the movies, you see they're not all. Some of them are triangle spaces, some are rectangular, and they're all different because you got to try to make this fit his whole body.
Why don't you give him an armor like do Superman?
Huh?
Superman has armor.
I said, like the New 52 Superman suit. You know how it looks, a glossy armor, or.
Well, you're not redesigning the character, right?
Yeah, I'm not redesigning the
redesign
character. I'm just trying to come up with my version of drawing the existing character.
I see.
Because it has to be within
I wonder
continuity.
if there's anyone who tried to digitally wrap it around with texture mapping stuff.
I mean, if you're wrapping it around, it's gonna have to follow. Oh shit! It's gonna have to follow. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
Did he
ahead.
poop?
He pooped on my table.
Uh-oh.
I got poop on the.
Bad bird.
I got poop on the drawing. Ugh.
That's good luck.
It's good luck for the drawing. He didn't poop on me. I just smeared my hand on the poop. There's a difference. So gonna have
Should I-
to.
Oh, Bernard, before I
Huh?
forget, I got my invite to Baltimore Comic Con. Do you think you'll be there?
Oh, you got an invite? I don't know. I'm not sure yet because I'm thinking whether I should stay home and work. Because I'm gonna be pretty busy in September.
You're not gonna see Yojimbo.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hmm.
go. I mean, maybe I'll reach out. I think Brad hasn't reached out to me because
Well, I don't think he knows that you want to go.
wow. What is
Oh,
this neck
look at me
collar
there.
thing on Captain America? The continuity he has a neck collar. What is that?
That's probably something that Jim Lee did.
I do kind of
The
want to
size
go.
of his
That's Father America that you're joining.
the
It's
size
like it's keeping his neck warm.
the size of his star and his chest varies too with the artist.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it somewhat modest. The bigger the star, the less chainmail you have to draw.
I think one thing you should keep in mind, because he is one of the manliest men in in comics, to make him 9 heads tall.
Well, so have you, Sean? You said you haven't drawn Captain America before.
I have, but I haven't drawn the book, but he's always been like, I drew him in like Avengers Academy, or even some of the Iron Man books I did.
Is it worth drawing Captain America traditionally, or I should just stick to the digital?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of the most common commission requests that I get. I don't particularly like drawing. I'm kind of was taken aback by the fact that like this is the first time that I'm finding out that you're drawing this book. This is
Really
like a
bad.
super patriotic book,
I'm just
all right?
drawing.
And
I'm
then
just drawing. Huh?
and this is that thing where you can't say that you can't ask them to change him into a Chinese person.
Yeah, I'm just drawing.
I think you could do
I'm just
it.
drawing a book with him in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you're
So
drawing
he's
the Captain
one of the
America book.
characters. So. But don't worry, Sean. He turns into Asian American on page 24.
So you didn't ask, like, can I make him a Chinese person?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And they'll be afraid to say no, because if they do, then they're racist. So
Right.
they'll let you do
They
it.
say no. They
It
don't
could
want to
happen.
appear racist. Huh?
Chinese Americans fought in World War II too. Like what? Why not?
I always ask. But
Can I make them Asian?
But this is like would be the oddest one to ask about that. And then like the
He's
artwork
just
probably
Captain American though. He could be whatever. Maybe because I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's right. He's black at
specifically
one point,
white.
right? Yeah, because the Falcon became Captain America for a long time.
Mm.
no, I'm not drawing.
Wow,
the-
you
I'm
know,
not
if you
drawing the
did
Captain
ask, they
America
will
book.
say yes.
Huh? His pants are kind of high, right? Cap's
What,
pants.
like his underwear?
Well, no, like his belt line is a little bit high, right? Because he's like a 1940s kind
Yeah,
of guy.
it's high. Yeah,
And then the red star is in the middle.
and then
The red
the
stripe.
red stripe is in
Red
the middle.
stripe's in
Yeah.
the middle. Anything else?
He has a star on his back.
He has a star on his back? No,
In
he
case you
doesn't.
didn't know.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, I
He
think he
wears
does.
fishnet stockings.
You better look it up.
Oh, yes,
Mhm.
he does. Look at this. You're right.
Yeah,
Look at this. This is.
I saved you a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
That kind of seems weird. If somebody has a star on their back, it seems very much like a, you know,
Yeah, this
a
is a
bullseye.
Mandela effect thing.
Yeah, this definitely. I don't remember him having a star on his back. Sean, you're from. This is Sean from an alternate dimension now. I thought we were like.
Yeah.
I thought we were transversing the different dimensions together, but now you're a different version of Sean. If you knew this. I mean, chat.
Oh yeah. So when you draw his gloves, are you drawing like the whatever? What do you call it? Those gauntlets have the big. Oh, it's like the pirate sleeve thing.
Yeah, pirate sleeve
Pirate
gloves, but
gloves.
I mean, what is going on here? How come the gloves don't fold back? That's my question.
You should draw
Yeah.
so the gloves fall back, but the boots don't.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's freaking Chinese.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta get out of here. It's 8:00. I gotta meet my my stream deadline. I gotta go. I have to shoot some hoops. So, any last words? I haven't even done the chain mail yet. But Sean, Fletch,
So
Courtney.
Courtney, are you the next co-host? Are you the permanent co-host for that?
No, I don't think
27?
so. I don't know. Carl just kind
Do
of
you-
hit me up, and he was.
Do you want to be?
I mean, I told Carl this. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm on this Bernard's Twitch just
you can
to
just
kind of hang
maybe
out.
you can do both, right? I mean, so
No, I could do both, but that's like more of like, you know, I was there to be a hype person and not, you know, so just, you know, I play the part in a way and like, you know, ask questions. Also, I don't have a deep knowledge of American comic books. I don't think that works to that advantage. Here, I'm kind of like, you know, you guys do your thing, and
that other blonde doesn't know any comics really.
she doesn't. I thought
Well,
she was
I
like,
think the idea is that she's there to kind of like that's her thing is that she's learning as she goes.
oh, yeah. I mean, if he invites me again, you know, that's cool. But I know he wants to have something more like written and put together, or you know, something very specific. Whereas, like when we come on, you know, there might be a certain theme Bernard, you know, throws out and say, "Hey, next week we do this," but you know, this is just kind of more hanging out with me while you guys talk more realistic, you know, more real, you know, talk. So I don't feel like I really add too much to his, but you know, he got an idea. If he wants to invite me back, we'll see. So
Yeah, Fletch. Carl seems to be poaching from this stream.
Oh, really?
Well, you
Sorry,
Sean
hosted
you-
drew
you
on
hosted a
his
show for him.
screen. He didn't draw on this screen.
What's that?
Fletch, you hosted an episode for him.
Did I?
Yeah, the Jay
The Jay Lee one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, how could you?
I didn't host an episode. I just appeared. He was filming. I'm like, oh, sure. I'll appear.
You were featured heavily on that.
Was I?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all he's missing is Jerry. And then pretty soon I'm gonna have to go on Carl's stream to draw. I mean, he hasn't gotten your Jimbo
Yeah,
yet,
like
has he?
you.
I hope he hasn't
Not that
gotten
you
your Jimbo.
know of.
To be moderator.
I mean, if your Jimbo starts moderating for his streams, then forget it. I'm done. I'm cooked. All right. I think
Don't
I'm
see it
gonna-
out loud.
Yeah, I don't want to bring it to life. I think I'm okay with this size chainmail. How about everybody?
So are you making it big to make it easier, or,
It's slightly big. I mean, it's
or
not
just
it's
like
not,
the way it looks?
No,
I
I
like
think it's good. It's not too big, I don't think.
it's not too
Any
big.
smaller, it's
medium
gonna look
size.
real busy.
And I do think I want,
Bigger. I was gonna say bigger is gonna make it easier to re-ink, later on.
oh right, yeah.
Oh
'cause
God,
especially I'm drawing
thinking all the
these
time.
traditionally. So, all right. Thank you, Crispy Papa, Poop Kid. Well, Torpedo Con, if they have me. Okay. Who should we raid? James Crow usually has somebody. Anybody we should raid? I need to get out of here. Let's see who we can raid.
Asian Kitty XXX.
Pretty sure
Asian
he's a
bunny.
birdie.
Huh?
Asian Birdie XXX.
Asian Birdie? Where's the
Pretty sure he's a birdie.
I need some screen names. Oh. Asian Birdie?
Bernard, you shouldn't force them out.
I know. There's
No, I was
there's
kidding.
Asian Bunny X in a pool in a hot tub.
Oh yeah.
A fool.
What? She's in a hot tub right now?
She's on, I don't know. It says hot tub.
Forget about drawing.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Go see the hot tub.
It contains
Mm.
sexual
Oh yeah, you
themes.
can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, Cool Hand Luke might be watching, so I can't do that.
Wait, he's going to graduate high school though?
Carson
He's not
McKinney.
18 yet.
No, he's
Oh, he's very young. Should have warned me. I think I said bad things off the bat. Should been like, there's children listening.
Okay, James Cole said, can you someone spell that for me? Tuana.
EU.
Tuan on
That's
boot.
That's a horrible name.
Tuan on
Whoa, he's Vietnamese. Take it easy. I'm
Okay.
actually assuming he's Vietnamese. Tuan on.
Yeah, I'll spell it.
Oh, Tuana, he does not accept
Yeah.
raids. He does not accept raids.
Oh, from you, probably. What'd you do to him?
He's
You ever hear of that Vietnamese guy whose real name was "fuck that bitch"?
So was it?
No, it's
Yeah.
fuck you.
I mean, he had to show
Wasn't it?
his driver's license. No, well, the
Ah.
guy whose name was "fuck that bitch."
I mean, it wasn't
THUC.
exactly fuck that bitch.
THUC.
I had a kid who I knew who I used to play Batman with, and his name was How too. And then when he went to college, he changed it to Howard, and he became like a
It was Howard Toe.
yeah. He's like, my name's Howard. I was like, your name's How?
What
Like,
about
you
this
used to
guy? This
cry.
This looks kind of cool. Melty rice. All right,
Is it art or is it cooking?
it's art. Digital drawing. I don't know.
Melty rice.
Melty rice. Okay. Wow.
Isn't it a joke?
Any last words, Fletch?
No, just hard at work getting ready for San Diego.
Mint Mobile.
You heard me fine this time, right?
No comment. Courtney?
24/7 comics.
Yeah, catch me on 21st Comic. Catch me on
I
these.
joked about it for so long. Maybe I just cursed myself on there.
There's
See,
a
that's what happened.
slow migration. Sean?
No.
Read your copies of Evermind. If you didn't back it, then try to find somewhere you can pirate it.
I think you can still back it. Can't you buy it now somewhere?
Yeah.
Should be able to.
Next week
Yeah,
we should do,
you can.
we should
I
do
don't
a
know.
review of Evermind.
Yeah. And someone should draw.
I'm gonna. I have a digital copies, but so next week we should do a review of Evermind here live on stream.
Oh God, I have to
Yes.
sit through that.
Yes.
I'm gonna tear it to pieces.
It's called defending your
I'm gonna
choices.
start
Stream.
promoting it tomorrow.
I think you already pushed the raid through.
Okay.
Oh,
Happy
okay.
holidays.
There's Melty right.
Happy holidays if anybody could hear. It's
It's
very
paper doll.
very anime.
digital. I hope it's not AI.